Postre Anchi is a delicious vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and nearly fat-free dessert from northwestern Argentina. It's fruity and creamy, a combination that's absolutely irresistible. If you want this unique dessert recipe, keep watching. I know that there's a lot of interest in vegan and gluten-free dessert recipes, so after my chocotorta de Oreo and arroz con leche earlier this week, I wanted to share something that is vegan and gluten-free. This is called Postre Anchi, and it's a type of corn pudding, a sweet corn pudding from northwestern Argentina, like Salta, near the border with Bolivia. And I think it's eaten in southern Bolivia as well. You could make this with semolina, but I'm making it with polenta. Basically, it's a fruity polenta. It starts with water that's been infused with fruit, and you add sugar to it. It's really, really good. Like I said, it's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, so basically everyone can eat it. I started off by adding a little over 2 cups of water to a pot, and then I added 1 cup of dried peaches, 150 grams. I know that in the United States, dried peaches aren't super popular, but I feel like they're more popular in Argentina, and they are absolutely delicious. They find themselves in recipes in Argentina like beef stew, a type of beef stew called carbonara, and a lot of other things. And honestly, I think they're very underappreciated, kind of like butternut squash in the United States. And if you can find them, basically they're a secret ingredient in a lot of things. And if you want to make this but you can't find dried peaches, then I think apricots or even raisins. A lot of people use raisins. That'd be good as well. You could also do apples, pineapple. I would take the peel off the apple and I would use a tart apple, but the point is that this is customizable to what you want. I also added a small cinnamon stick and 2 cloves and pieces of citrus peel, orange peel, lemon peel, and also the juice of 1 lemon and 1 orange, 1/4 cup each, 60 grams each. How did I make these strips of peel? If you saw my rice pudding video recipe, what you can do is, I'm gonna move this. You can take a vegetable peeler and put it on the skin of a lemon or an orange, apply pressure to both sides, and then drag the peeler towards you. You could do this holding it in the air, but it's easier if you hold it down on the counter. So, see, not too hard to do. And if it doesn't all come off in one move, then you could just add little bits of the peel and it'll be okay, because the point of adding the peel in one strip instead of using little bits of zest is that you can take the peel out at the end and it won't interfere with the texture of whatever you're making. But honestly, I think that if you just want to zest it like you normally would, it will be fine. What I did is I strained the liquid, I put it in this pot. It was 300 grams. I'm gonna use 560 grams of liquid, so I added 250 more grams. I'm using 80 grams of polenta, which is half of a cup. So to that I added 40 grams of polenta, because for Postre Anchi, you want to add half of the amount of sugar as polenta or semolina. If you're using measurements of volume, 1/4 of a cup. I'm rounding the measurements of volume, but it's about half of a cup. And for the liquid, you want to use, if you're using grams, I like 7 times the amount of polenta, and if you're using measurements of volume, 2.5 to 3 times the amount of liquid as polenta. As you can see, the liquid is now at a boil, so I'm going to pour in the polenta like a rain, like this. I'm going to turn down the heat to low. Gas mark 2 out of 6. And now I am going to start stirring. As you can see, some of the dried peaches I cut into smaller pieces, some of them I left whole. Once this is done, the ones that are left whole, I am going to use as garnish. And actually, the ones that were chopped into little pieces, I was going to add back. So I'm gonna do that now. It's amazing what you forget when you're talking and filming a video at the same time. Like I said, this recipe is really customizable. You could use different fruits. You could do all lemon or all orange. I did a combination of lemon and orange because even though lemon is more traditional for this, I think it'd be too acidic. And I was just in the mood for doing both. Like I said, lemon I think is more traditional. And I think it is good with an acidic component, but not too much. Some people, they add the lemon juice towards the end so that it remains full strength. But I add it in the beginning when I'm softening the peaches because I want to tone down that acidity a bit. Also, traditionally, most people, they soak the peaches or other dried fruit overnight. But honestly, I think, who knows in the modern day, who knows that they're gonna make a recipe all the time the night before. I think it's easier, especially if you want to infuse the flavor of the cinnamon and everything. It's easier to do that by just boiling it and making a fruit broth instead of a vegetable broth, so to speak. And actually, I think I'm gonna add back the cinnamon stick. So, this isn't too bad. I might turn the heat up, but this is just a really nice, I'm gonna put it on medium. Lately, when I've been making my polenta with milk, I've been cooking it on a lower heat, and that seems to be better. But this, I think, might do better on medium instead of really low, so we'll see. If you don't have clove, you can leave it out. If you don't have cinnamon, you can leave it out. Like I said, this recipe is really versatile. You can add as little or as much as you want. It's been about 3 minutes, I would say. This sweet corn pudding, it started to spit up out of the pot. So what I did is I turned it back down to low. If it starts to spit up, just turn it down and it will stop spitting quite as badly. I just wanted to give you that tip. As you can see, it's getting thicker. I will bring you back when it's closer to being done. It's been about 10 minutes and my sweet corn pudding Postre Anchi is now done. To be completely and totally honest, I forgot to set the timer when I added the polenta, but I'm pretty sure it was no more than 10-15 minutes max. As you can see, it's nice and creamy, even though there's no milk, vegan and gluten-free, and dairy-free, and it's also fat-free. So, very different from the other recipes I do, especially the ones I did this week on my channel. And I wanted to show you this because it's very traditional. It's from a region of Argentina that's different because it didn't have a lot of Italian immigration. It's it's more Latin American, I guess you could say, more indigenous influence, colonial Spanish influence. The food there is earthy. It's just different. And I know everyone has different diet restrictions and can't eat everything all the time. So, in addition to sharing the culture from a lesser known part of the country of Argentina, I also wanted to give you an option for a recipe that might be different. If you have certain dietary restrictions, it would be good for you. How to know when polenta is done? Taste it. It looks like it's swollen. When you taste it, it won't feel gritty in your mouth. Absolutely delicious. The best thing to describe this, or the best way to describe this is, peach baby food. I know it's going to sound really odd, but that is the closest thing I can compare it to. It doesn't really taste like polenta that much. It tastes like really creamy peaches. I can taste the peaches like the puree, the peach puree, that's the peach baby food, with a little bit of tartness from the lemon and a little bit of the other spices. So this is really different, very unique, very delicious. A lot lower in calories than my usual desserts. So like I said, if you are, a bit of sugar there. If you are looking for something that's different, oh, I did not mean to put in the whole cinnamon stick. And I just put my fingers into the hot liquid. So yeah, it's healthy, it's delicious, at least healthier than a lot of recipes that I make. It's very fruity. Usually people eat this warm, but I think you could definitely eat it cold, but it will not be creamy, it will harden. But yeah, it's definitely something that I've never heard of anything like this in the United States, and I think that if you make it, you will really enjoy it. And now I'm gonna stick my finger in there once more. Yes, this is your sweet corn pudding, Postre Anchi. I think if you make this, you'll love it. Like I said, it's a good change of pace. It's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and fat-free. It's perfect for a cold winter day. It's so fruity, so flavorful. Definitely give this a try. Honestly, Postre Anchi, this sweet corn pudding from northwestern Argentina, is one of my new favorite things. When I compared the taste and texture to that of peach baby food, I did not mean that as an insult, but rather as a compliment. For something that's made out of ground corn to taste so much like peach with a hint of spice and to have such a creamy texture, in my opinion, is really incredible. If you're looking for a dessert that's vegan and gluten-free, as well as dairy-free and almost all fat-free, I think this is the one for you. Although you can use other fruits, I never have, so I would recommend trying it with peaches or perhaps dried apricots first. What I think is so good about this dessert is that sometimes when people try to make a healthier version of a dish, it turns out at least partially inferior. However, the very premises of Postre Anchi is healthy, so it doesn't taste like it's made to be healthy, which in my opinion is very important. So, if some of my other higher calorie desserts give you pause, but you still want to try something, definitely give this Postre Anchi, this sweet corn pudding, a try. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!